Okay. We're just gonna go to my car right here, okay?
But I don't want to behave like that. I just want to...
Go, step inside.
Wait.
Go. Don't say that right now. No, I said don't say that right now because everything's being recorded right now.
The incident took place in San Diego, California, USA. On August 14, 2023, at around 8:30 p.m., Officer Anthony Hare of the San Diego Police Department went to a convenience store in the northern part of the city to assist a colleague in apprehending two car theft suspects. It can be seen that the woman in the red shirt is one of the two suspects.
Thank you. Hey, why are you guys tripping over
Hey, just listen to him.
Put your hands behind your back. There you go. Stay like that.
Why are you guys tripping like that? I can't
Follow
come
our
out of the
instruction.
Listen to him.
I can't come out of the
Put your hands behind your back.
I was on my fucking face, man.
Put your hands behind your back.
After placing the talkative male suspect in the police car, the officers proceeded to search the female suspect to ensure she was not hiding any weapons. Since there were no female officers at the scene, the male officer followed protocol and conducted the search using the back of his hand.
Okay. We're just gonna go to my car right here, okay?
Follow me. Is this car again?
After checking the woman's identification, the police discovered that she had previously received an arrest warrant from the court for other offenses. Therefore, Officer Anthony first handed over the remaining suspect, who was the woman's boyfriend, to his colleagues.
Send over the note, the warrant papers to watch from there.
When the police spoke with the male suspect and explained what was happening, he adamantly denied that he had stolen anything.
For what? Okay. How did I go and steal a car?
Okay, so you guys saw me driving out of the parking lot at 7-Eleven, okay? I'm driving by, I run the plate, it comes back as stolen.
I didn't drive no car.
I see you guys walk inside, I wait till you guys come out, and you don't even attempt to come back to the car, okay?
Well, look,
You attempt to walk away.
I'm
almost done.
No, sir.
It's okay. She asked me to get her makeup bag out of the car. I go and get her bag. I have to search it because she wants to take it with her to jail. So I search it. Inside, I find a prescription with your name on it.
Yes, that's our stuff. Listen,
Okay?
it's embarrassing.
So that's
I
why...
told you my medicine, that I have medicine.
Right,
not in
that's
there,
okay.
though. You said it was at your boy's house.
Okay, well look, it's embarrassing to tell you that we wanted to get whatever was in that car, bro. We went in that car. Yes, it was cold. She wanted a fucking blanket, dog. We had our stuff. We weren't planning on you guys stopping us or seeing what we're gonna get from that car.
Okay, I'm gonna move you over to my car and then we can talk more about this, alright? So go ahead and stand up for me.
Like, come on, it's embarrassing to say that, bro. Like, come on. You didn't see me driving the car?
Before getting into the car, the young man even shouted out his feelings for his girlfriend.
Baby, I love you.
After escorting the male suspect into the police car, Officer Anthony prepared to take the female suspect to the police station.
Oh, who said it? You heard him when he said it.
Oh, let's go.
About asking me.
Yeah, this way. Walk across the street.
Not even he said he was gonna ask me. What's that? Why are you the only mean one right here?
I'm not mean.
Bro, you're the only dick right
No,
here.
we can
Honestly,
talk more once we get into the car, okay? I got your...
Sorry for calling that, but...
I got your not your duffel bag, but the drawstring bag. I got all of that. Your makeup. So.
Not really, Peter. Like, when you're doing your job, I understand. You're doing your job. But... I don't want to behave like that. I just want to...
Go, step inside.
It seems this girl is dressed very dangerously, but so far the officer hasn't made any special remarks. Up next, the officer Hare reads her Miranda rights.
I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. All right? Here, just listen up. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you do, say, can, and will be used in court against you. You have the right to speak with an attorney of your choice before questioning, and to have the attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you by the court prior to any questioning, if you so desire. The attorney will not cost you anything. The services are free. Do you understand each of these rights that I've explained to you?
Yes.
Yes? Having in mind and understanding your rights, as I have told you, are you willing to talk to me?
What if I were just saying?
Yes or no? It's either you want to talk to me or you...
I have nothing to talk to you about, but yes,
Okay.
I'm complying, yeah.
However, as soon as she got into the car, the girl attacked the police officer.
Why are you asking that? What do you mean? I'm cool to you.
What is it gonna hurt me if I were to speak about it? That's what I said. If I were in your shoes,
Head south on Denver Street.
Facing the girl's provocative remarks, the officer seemed a bit awkward, but didn't respond much and started the car to continue taking her to the police station. After completing all the procedures at the station, the girl and the officer got back into the car. The female suspect was taken to a women's detention center 30 kilometers away that very night. It was now around 1 a.m., with very few vehicles and pedestrians on the road. So the female suspect in the backseat launched a new round of attacks.
Well, you're not.
Because the police officer did not close the car window completely, it caused a lot of noise inside the car, making it difficult to hear what the girl was saying clearly. Next, seeing that the police officer refused to respond, the girl decided to turn her suggestions into easier, seductive words. The conversation between the two also became more direct.
A little bit. Well, I can't hear you now. Don't say that right now. No, I said don't say that right now because everything's being recorded right now. What's going on?
Seeing that the female suspect appeared unwell, the police officer showed concern for her but did not receive a response. Therefore, the officer immediately slowed down the car, turned off the engine, and removed the body camera from his chest, preparing to go and assist the girl. However, according to the location records provided by the police later, his patrol car was still equipped with a GPS device. After Officer Anthony turned off the body-worn enforcement camera, he drove to a quiet area near the temporary detention camp. About 10 minutes later, the officer called one of his officers, stating that he was stuck in the back seat. Clearly, in a moment of impulsiveness, the officer only thought about getting into the back seat to help the girl without considering how to get back out. To safely detain suspects, police patrol cars often remove the interior door handles and window controls from the back doors or activate the child's safety lock, making it impossible to open the doors from the inside. About an hour later, around 2:30 a.m., Officer Anthony's supervisor arrived at the scene with a spare key for the patrol car.
All right, sir, step out of the vehicle for me. 114 yellow. We're code 4. Everything just went wrong. Okay, hold on. Let me turn my camera off. She's code 4? She's code 4. Okay.
Although the supervisor didn't say much upon arrival, he seemed to realize that Officer Anthony might have made a significant mistake. After the supervisor also turned off his body-worn enforcement camera, Officer Anthony explained to him that he had been urgently checking the suspect's pulse and intended to block the car door with his foot, but the door unexpectedly closed. The two officers then proceeded to take the female suspect back to the temporary detention camp. Officer Anthony's body camera was turned back on, and it now showed a female officer conducting a search of the female suspect. Clearly, Officer Anthony experienced a significant delay in transferring the suspect, and his actions violated department policy. As a result, 2 police detectives spoke with him the next day. However, Officer Anthony insisted that there was never any improper relationship between him and the female suspect. He had simply accidentally allowed the car door to close while checking on the suspect. After the conversation, the officer also demonstrated the situation to the investigators.
Opened the door, and then as I came in like that, I was trying to wake her up. My feet wasn't this. My feet didn't get caught like that. And then when I was like waking her up, that's when I noticed that this door closed on me. And then that's when I was like frantic trying to open the door, but I know there's no door opener. And then from then she was able to. So I was like this majority of the time. I was trying to get her up because her face was right here.
Okay.
Right here, and then I was trying to like wake her up to get her up. And then next thing you know, I hear the door close on me. I was frantic. I was looking. And then that's when she started to kind of like, I guess, wake up or get dazed off, whatever. And then that's when I asked her like, "Hey, are you having a hard time breathing?" She said, "No." "Do you need medics?" "No." I was like, "Okay, all right, just stay right there." And then that's when I was trying to open the door.
Okay.
And then that's when I went on D2.
The reenactment of the situation by Officer Anthony was so convincing that it even made him laugh. The investigators then questioned the female suspect, and she corroborated his story, saying there was no physical contact between them at that time, only an exchange of information. However, when the police examined Officer Anthony's clothing, they found traces of bodily fluids on his belt. The subsequent investigation reports indicated that throughout the incident, Officer Anthony violated at least 7 departmental policies. A month after the incident, Anthony voluntarily resigned from the police department to avoid further investigations. The case is still under investigation, and he has not yet been charged with any criminal offense. What are your thoughts on this event? Do you believe what Officer Anthony said? If what he said was true, what was his purpose in turning off the body camera? Why does he have to wait 10 minutes to call someone to open the door? Let's discuss below.